Angela Rose Julian of Lothers Lane, St. George, died on Monday 24th January 2022 at the age of 63. Left to cherish her memory are her brothers Winston Tanton Julian in Grenada, Michael in Canada, Denhart and Carlisle in the USA, sisters Barbara in the USA and Sandra in Canada, adopted daughter Christelle Charles, sisters-in-law Bernadette and Joycelyn in the USA, many other relatives and friends including Charlene Herbert, Vilma Dabrio, Catherine Daniel, Paulette Caliste, Loris Pascal, Bernadette Bartholomew, Sandra Ferguson, Dale Wayward, Mrs. Ansel Evans of Cafe Springs, the Julian family of River Road and Springs, the Benjamin family of River Road and Tempe, the staff at the Grenada National Organization of Women, Hilary Gabriel and the GNCD, William Braffett, and the choir and members of the St. George's Methodist Church. The funeral service and interment of the late Angela Rose Julian of Lothers Lane, St. George will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Mary Carmen John of Belmont, St. George, passed away on Sunday, 6th February, at the age of 57. She was the wife of Clarence Ferguson, better known as Sabu, mother of Earl and John in the UK, stepmother of Jamelia Thomas in the US, Rashid Edwards, and Ali and Aki McQueen, grandmother of 13, sister of Diane John in the US, Irma Frame in the US, Kemmeline Glood in Chantemille, Rhonda Phillip in Chantemille, Charmaine Ferguson in Canada, Curtis Straker in Trinidad, Randy Frame in the USA, Rondell Frame in Chantemille, stepsister of Sherma Frame in Chantemille, aunt of Christoph John in the US. Other relatives and friends including the Frame, John, Paul, Philip, Thomas, Louis, and Martin families, brothers and sisters of the Muslim community, neighbors and friends of Belmont and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Mary Carmen John of Belmont St. George will be laid to rest privately. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Rita Maxime, also known as Tanti Rita of Mardi Gras, who resided at Woodland St. George, passed away on Wednesday, 26th January, at the age of 98. She was the mother of Caroline Batson and son-in-law of Uriah Batson in the UK, Joseph Buckmeyer, and daughter-in-law of Carol Buckmeyer in the USA, Rani Maxime and son-in-law of Marlon Padmore in the USA, grandmother of Alicia, Samuel, Marlin, Rodney, Ali, Jennifer, Kathy, and Gandhi, great-grandmother of Letitia, Michael, Francesca, Jelani, Kai, Anaya, Serene, James, Michael, Olivia, Dominic, and Darren Jr., great-great-grandmother of Sophia and Hezekiah, caregivers Ganetta, Joyce, and Diana. Many other relatives and friends including Joey and the Garage Boys, Sheila Noel, Greta James, Tiny, neighbor Celestine, Anne Hudson, Yvonne Granger, Mrs. Clark and family, Sandy and family, the Lalji and St. Clair families, Pascal and family, Bobby and Anne-Marie Smith, and godchildren, friends and neighbors of St. Paul's and Woodlands. The funeral of the late Rita Maxime, also known as Tanti Rita of Mardi Gras, who resided at Woodland St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lockwar Brothers Funeral Home.
Beverly St. Paul of Greystone, Belmont St. George, former matron of the General Hospital, passed away on Monday 24th January 2022 at the age of 80. She was the wife of Franklin St. Paul, mother of Jan St. Paul, mother-in-law of Michelle St. Paul, grandmother of Chelsea St. Paul, sister of Sonia and Annette, sister-in-law of Grace, Lorna, Yvonne, Lyle, and Charles, honorary mother to Abigail and Lucille, aunt of many, several nieces and nephews, other cousins, relatives, and close friends, including the Neckers, Lacroix, and Williams families, and friends and neighbors of Greystone, Belmont, and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Beverly St. Paul of Greystone, Belmont, St. George will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Raleigh Williams, also known as Raleigh St. Bernard, Cox or Papa Orchin of Woodland, St. George, died on Friday 28th January 2022 at the age of 85. Left to mourn his wife Ethelyn Aline, children Leroy Anthony in the USA, Agnes Anthony, Joycelyn Aline, Eastlyn Aline, Maudlin Aline, Monica Aline, and Loslyn Clement. Daughter-in-law Jessie Anthony in the USA. Son-in-law Trevor Edwards. Many grand and great-grandchildren. Many nieces and nephews. Many other relatives and friends, including the St. Bernard, Coutane, and Roberts families of Woodlands, the St. Bernard family of Marianne, the Pascal family of Woburn, the Bell family of Woburn, Ingrid and family, the Worm family of Mongeloo, Jeffrey and family, and the Woburn fishermen. The funeral service and interment of the late Raleigh Williams, also known as Raleigh St. Bernard, Cox, or Papa Orchin of Woodland, St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Curtis Douglas, also known as South, Trinny, and Douglas of Woodland, St. George, died on Thursday, 3rd February 2022 at the age of 57. Left to mourn his wife Veronica Douglas, mother Rosie Douglas in Trinidad and Tobago, children Carlin Douglas in Grenada, Antonio Nero Douglas, Jerome Douglas, and Carlton Douglas in Trinidad, siblings Frank, Anthony, Reynold, Hilton, Kurt, Joyce, Emrys, and Cheryl Douglas, all in Trinidad. In-laws Anne, Alston, Gilbert, Michael, Lisa Nero, and Gwendolyn Nero Thomas. Grandchild Kalia Jack in Trinidad. 23 nieces and nephews in Trinidad. Close friends, workers of Douglas Cleaning Service and Auto Care Service, Sheldon Thomas, Cyrus Griffith and family, the Sandvex family, the staff of Grenlick, the Andrews family, Ray Roberts and family, Gabriel Rentals, Barry's Engineering Company Limited, the staff of Real Value, Grace Lutheran, I Am Jet Center, and GTM Insurance, and neighbors of Woodlands and surrounding areas. The funeral service and interment of the late Curtis Douglas, also known as South, Trinny, and Douglas of Woodland, St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Adolphus Sylvester, also known as Beck, of Laborie, who resided in Tortola, former operations manager of Shell British Virgin Islands and past employee of Soul Group BVI, passed away on Saturday, January 8, 2022, at the age of 74. Left to mourn are his wife Sonia Palmer Sylvester, children Adolphus Sylvester Jr. and Rhonda Walcott, stepchildren Suzette Palmer Davies residing in the USA and Jassy Palmer in Tortola, adopted child Marisa Palmer, one granddaughter, sisters and brother Sylvia, Jean, Vanetta, and Cuthbert, aunt Lyris Hunt, nieces and nephews including Milton, Sharon, Wendana, Neil, Claudius, Selwyn, Sarana, Ngozi, Erlin, Franca, Indra, other nieces and nephews in Grenada, Canada, and Trinidad, sisters-in-law Barbara Sylvester and Keisha Noel Charles. Other relatives, in-laws, and friends, including the Hunt and Sylvester families of Laborie, St. Paul's, and surrounding areas, Wayne, Oliver, and Barry Palmer in Tortola, Stephen Palmer in the USA, Michael, Richard, Ricky, and Junior Palmer in the UK, Gloria Palmer and family of Boca, Jean Palmer and family of Fontenoy, Joe Palmer and family of Mount Parnassus, Peter Clark, Ben Gittins, Dr. Francis Alexis, George Martin and family, the management and staff of Soul Group, BVI, and the Caribbean, many other relatives, in-laws, grandchildren, adopted children, too numerous to mention, and friends and neighbors in Tortola, Canada, Grenada, Trinidad, Barbados, Anguilla, and throughout the Caribbean. The funeral service for the late Adolphus Sylvester, also known as Beck of Laborie, who resided in Tortola, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Leantin Aberdeen of Moya St. Andrew, who resided in Canada, passed away on Saturday 29th January 2022 at the age of 92. She was the mother of Gabriel and Japhet Samuel, Leslie, Ashley, Raymond and Brenda Aberdeen, stepmother of Anne Lalgie, grandmother of 25 including Delian Albert, Loxley Williams, Shanae Aberdeen, Stephlin, Aaliyah, Abigail, Ziggy, Lindona Stanislaus and Gillian Bowler, great-grandmother of 42, great-great-grandmother of 6, mother-in-law of Grathel Stephen, aunt of many including Rudolph and Lennox Thorne, Teresa Joseph, Eulene Henry, Rayanne and Alistair Charles and Mycena, cousin of Leroy and Leonard Jones and Manita. Many other relatives and friends in Grenada including Stephen Jones, Needley Charles, the Stevens and Evans families, Princess, Bernice, Jocelyn, Benjamin, Toba, members of the La Poetry Seventh-day Adventist Church, and friends and neighbors of Pearls, Moya, and Paradise St. Andrew. The funeral service for the late Leantin Aberdeen of Moya St. Andrew, who resided in Canada, will take place in Canada. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Alban Chase, also known as Daddy Banu and Grandpa, of Beaulieu St. George, passed away on Friday 28th January 2022 at the age of 93. He was the father of Patsy Crawford, Peter, Reverend Philip Chase, Cephas, Richard, Errol, Veronica and Johnson, both residing in Canada, David and Rebecca Chase John, both residing in the USA, brother of Albertha Charles and Michael Chase, both residing in Trinidad, grandfather of 23, great-grandfather of 20, great-great-grandfather of 4, brother-in-law of Mary Williams and Phyllis Chase, father-in-law of Earl Crawford, Cecilia, Sandra, Sally Ann and Melissa, many nieces and nephews. Other relatives and friends including Rosalind and Jennifer Williams, Joanna Chase, the Simpson, Worrell and Chase families residing in Trinidad, the Daniel family of Vendham, the LeBarry family of Beaulieu, the Chase family of Grandance, Victoria, Bylands and in Carriacou, the John and Frederick families of Bellevue and Montrose, the Johnson family of Willis, the Patrick family of Grandmore, Reverend and Sister Aline, members of the Latter Rain Revival Pentecostal Church of Tempe, including Brother and Sister Murray, members of the Grenada Seamen and Waterfront Workers Union, members of the Grenada Ports Authority, Superintendent of Police Esau Pear of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Sergeant Anthony Pear of the Grenada Coast Guard, Dr. Roxanne Ned and family, the doctors and nurses of the Snug Corner Medical Station and the General Hospital, including Dr. Charles, Dr. Migwen and Dr. Noel, and friends and neighbors of Beaulieu, Willis and New Hampshire, including the Telesford, Murrell and Phillip families. The funeral service and interment of the late Alban Chase, also known as Daddy Banu and Grandpa, of Beaulieu St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Anthony Laguerre of La Fortune, who resided at Cooper's Hill and H.A. Blair Street, St. George's, an employee of George F. Huggins and assistant jeweler at Laguerre's Jewelry, passed away on Monday 17th January 2022 at the age of 61. Left to mourn are his children Anthony John, Dorian Thomas, also known as Domain, Sophia Skeet, Kevin Campbell, and Cameron Filbert. Brothers Livingston Laguerre, Matthew Barry and Donald Mitchell in the USA, Winston Mitchell and Eris Mitchell. Aunt Irene Charles in the USA. Grandchildren Jared and Ethan Skeet, Deanna Entwine, Anton Lawrence and Caden Filbert. Sisters-in-law Camille Francis, Denise Mitchell and Emma Barry. Many nieces and nephews, including Anthony, Antonio, Evelyn, Rosalind, Donnellan and Charlene Barry, Kendon Clement, Toria George, Cordell and Cameru Francis, Annon, Andon, Donna and Marsha Mitchell, and Denon Lessie. Other relatives and friends including Jason Lessie, Kanisha Rennie, Donnellan Francis, the Laguerre families of St. Andrew and St. David, the Charles and Beggs families in the USA, the Robertson, Brown, Scott and Andrews families of Satez, the Skeet family of Coopers Hill in Canada, Trinidad and the USA, the management and staff of George F. Huggins, staff of the oncology ward at the General Hospital, the guys by Roach's Bar in the Market Square, and Lynnett's Bar at Lucas Street, and neighbours of Coopers Hill, H.A. Blair Street, the Carenage, the Villa and surrounding areas. The funeral service and interment of the late Anthony Laguerre of La Fortune, who resided at Coopers Hill and at H.A. Blair Street, St. George's, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Peter John Joseph, also known as Spirit, of Belmont Carriacou, who resided in the USA, passed away on Saturday 25th January 2022 at the age of 56. He was the son of Evina Waldron in Tobago and Alban Lambert in the United Kingdom. He was the husband of Loretta Joseph, father of Ekani, John Jr. and Christopher, brother of Agnes Joseph, also known as Dindin, Nadine, Joan, Prudence, Erlin, Keon, Samantha, Wayne, Kevin, Roger, Alan and Ashton, brother-in-law of 3, son-in-law of Frank and Rose, uncle of many, nephew of Jermaine Joseph in the USA, close cousin of many including Janice Joseph, Nimrod John, Ken Alexander and Mr. B. Many other relatives and friends including the Joseph, Lambert, John and Cajo families in Carriacou, England, Trinidad and the USA. The funeral of the late Peter John Joseph, also known as Spirit, of Belmont Carriacou, who resided in the USA, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Emery Anthony Frederick, also known as Brigo, of Grand Bacalet, who resided at Café Crochu St. Andrew, passed away on Friday 4th February 2022 at the age of 91. He was the father of Annette Mayo, grandfather of Grace Jordan, Kelly Caliste, Molly Caliste and their families, uncle of Jocelyn Robertson, Venita Braffett, Venice Peters, Vera Peters and their families, and the Lalsey family of Grand Bacalet, stepfather of Agnes James and Denise George, stepfather-in-law of Catherine Alexander, step-grandfather of Merrill Telesford, Beverly Pursue, Marcel, Chanel, Ellen, Ishmael, Kent, and Antonia. Many other relatives and friends including the Panchu family of Tivoli and Mirabeau, the Mason family, Leon Bola, and friends and neighbors of Café, Crochu, Grand Bacalet, Kuma, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Emery Anthony Frederick, also known as Brigo, of Grand Bacalet, who resided at Café Crochu St. Andrew, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Delbert Bola of Duquesne St. Mark passed away on Friday 4th February 2022 at the age of 84. The funeral arrangements for the late Delbert Bola of Duquesne St. Mark will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Cecilia Roberts Thomas, also known as Mother James and Miss Cecile, of Boca St. George, who resided at Beaulieu and in the USA, transitioned in the USA on Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, at the age of 101. The funeral arrangements for the late Cecilia Roberts Thomas, also known as Mother James and Miss Cecile of Boca St. George, who resided at Beaulieu and in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Annie Joyce Duncan of Old Wester Hall, St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 8th February 2022, at the age of 88. The funeral arrangements for the late Annie Joyce Duncan of Old Wester Hall, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Rupert Anthony Stafford passed away on Saturday, 22nd January 2022 in New York, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Rupert Anthony Stafford will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Jervis Stedman Julian, also known as Papa Yo of Woodford St. John, passed away on Tuesday, 1st February 2022, at the age of 63. The funeral arrangements for the late Jervis Stedman Julian, also known as Papa Yo of Woodford St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Godfrey A.B. Alexander, also known as Natty, of Tempe St. George, a resident of Spice Residential Care, passed away on Sunday, January 30th, 2022, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Godfrey A.B. Alexander, also known as Natty, of Tempe St. George, a resident of Spice Residential Care, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Curlin Bishop, also known as Bish, of the Bocas St. George, passed away on Thursday, 27th January 2022, at the age of 63. The funeral arrangements for the late Curlin Bishop, also known as Bish of the Bocas St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
Maclena Veronica George Nee Richards of Guelph St. John, who resided at Bonnet St. Mark, passed away on Saturday, 29th January at the age of 72. The funeral of the late Maclena Veronica George Nee Richards of Guelph St. John, who resided at Bonnet St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Lyndon Decoto, also known as Trouble, Carwo and Compare, of Middle River, Guelph St. John, passed away on Thursday, January 20th, 2022, at the age of 55. The funeral arrangements for the late Lyndon Decoto, also known as Trouble, Carwo and Compare, of Middle River, Guelph St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thanks for watching.
The Bible, this book, familiar to every person on the face of the earth today, gives us directions for our life. When death comes, there is great sorrow to the family and friends and loved ones of the one that has passed on. But if we put our trust in the Lord Jesus Christ and we follow the instructions of this book, we know we will meet again. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. There must be a decision, because without a decision, the decision is made to be separated from God. So put your trust in the Lord. Believe. The thief on the cross said, Lord, consider me. And Jesus said, today you would be with me, this very hour. And they died together. So put your trust in the Lord, and God bless you during your time of grief and bereavement. Put your trust in the Lord.